What do the 1% of traders look like? I've been trading for a living since 2016 and I've given a TEDx talk and written in the Financial Times, and sadly in that time I've seen one guy turn a few £1,000s into £250,000 in 2 trades, quit his job, buy the flash car, lose the lot and go back to his day job. And I've had messages from people who've gambled their house deposits away and now have to go and have that conversation with their partners. Trading isn't easy, and anyone who says it is either a liar or selling something or both. And when I first started trading, I had an absolute mountain to climb. Everyone had an agenda, whether it was pushing their own stocks in a pump and dump or trying to get me to buy their placing stock. And there was so much noise out there, it was impossible to know who knew what they were actually talking about and who didn't. And I realised that if I didn't learn how to make it work, then I'd be going back to find a day job too. But over the years, I've seen many faces come and go, and one of the biggest reasons for amateur traders to go bust is because they're overexposed either to the market or more likely in a single position which goes against them, and because they don't have adequate risk management controls in place, they run the position and it goes against them further, either significantly deteriorating their account or blowing it up completely. If you think about a casino, they're not trying to take your money in one go and they'll actually stop you from betting too big. They know they've got an edge and they want you to just keep feeding the machines and playing small, because they know that over time that mathematical edge keeps them in business and takes your money. And I don't know about in the UK, but they'll even give you free food and drink to keep you gambling and having a good time, although I'm not sure how you can have a good time knowing you're going to lose your money. But then again, I'm not a gambler, so I don't know. But the big difference here between amateurs and professionals is position sizing, knowing how much to bet and how to control your exposure. For example, you can use my position size calculator online and put in your monetary risk as well as your entry and intended exit price, and it will spit out the number of shares that you need to buy in order to stick to your account risk on the trade. However, if you've got a 100k account and you end up needing to buy 55k worth of stock for a 1% account risk on the trade, your account risk might be £1,000, but your total risk, the amount that you're exposed to, would be 55,000. So if that stock was to go to zero the next day, which they can and do, you'd be 55% down in your account from a single trade. Personally, I don't think being exposed to a single stock with more than 25% of your account is a good idea, because whilst it's a low risk, it can happen. Therefore, you need to size as if the stock could go to zero tomorrow. I once worked with a trader who never met a trade he didn't like, and eventually he had more than 50 different stocks and he couldn't even remember why he was even holding them. So not only was he horrifically diluting away any edge he might have had, he was also paying 50 sets of commissions to enter and another 50 sets of commissions to exit. And whilst fees are small these days, it does all add up. The best traders are focused on playing tight aggressive, and what that means is that they're keeping their capital tight until they see asymmetric risk to reward opportunities, and then they're getting involved. So instead of going for suboptimal trades, professional traders know exactly what they want to see, where they want to see it and how they want to see it, and once they have that in front of them, they are taking a swing and going for gold. And this is where it gets confusing for some, because amateurs won't know what their best trades are because they either haven't got the data or they're just not consistent enough. But once you know your best pattern, that's when you start to scale that pattern up and allocate more risk capital to it. And this is why you absolutely need to log your trades. Most traders don't log their trades and most traders don't make any money, and there is a causative correlation here, because traders who log their trades learn a lot more about their performance than traders who don't bother. If I asked you now, what's your best performing setup? Could you tell me? And you can use a platform like TradeSmash to log your trades and calculate detailed P&L and analytics, as well as see all of your exposure under one platform. This business is hard enough, and if you're not even doing the basics required to compete effectively, you're going to have absolutely no chance. And as far as you can see, these aren't even big things, just the 1% are consistently doing the right things, and that's what often separates those who are doing it for fun and those who are doing it for a living. The market gives everyone what they want, and if you want fun, you'll find it, and likewise, if you want a career, you can build one. It's entirely up to what you want. Another thing you'll see the professionals focus on is risk management. Amateur traders are thinking of how much they can win, and professionals are thinking of how much they can lose on a trade. You need to focus on the downside first, because it's the downside that can wipe you out and take you out of the game. Yes, you do need to play to win, but if you've lost your seat at the table, you won't be able to play at all. And any trade that has a big tail risk, just cover it and find something else to trade, because even if there's just a 1% chance of complete wipeout, if you take that trade 100 times, then it's likely that 1% will come up and end your career. It's just not worth it. And whilst everyone loves the person who took on a widowmaker trade and managed it successfully, nobody remembers the person who lost everything and doesn't trade anymore because of it. Most people like the idea of trading, but they don't like the boring and mechanical application of trading. This is why we had so many enter the market in 2020 and 2021, because it was easy money, but these people wanted the rewards and the trappings of success. But unfortunately, long-term trading success comes at a cost, and most people aren't aware or even willing to pay that price. If you had to ask me the one thing that makes traders successful, and I've worked with hundreds of them in my career so far, the one thing that stands out to me is grit. Honestly, most people would just be better off packing in the trading and buying a low-cost passive index tracker fund. And look, there's nothing wrong with that, because lots of traders who do take it seriously just don't make it and become consistently profitable. And getting exposure to the market without the time and effort and sacrifice can sometimes be the smart decision. Not everyone is creaming it out there, and just like you never meet a gambler who loses, few people want to admit that they're just spinning the wheels in commissions and not making any money. But if you do want to be a success in this business, then all you have to do is focus on these 3 questions. How can I make more money from my winners? How can I lose less from my losers? And how can I generate more winning ideas? Think about this constantly and you will improve. And that is it.